Home Termite and Pest Control Matters. Hello, everybody. My name is Roxanne Govari with Pemberley Realty, along with my partner Santiago Guerin.
Hello, everyone. We have a great speaker today, one of our favorite termite inspectors, you know, being out of the field all the time. Will, welcome to have you here with us today.
Well, thank you guys for having me. It's great to be here and happy to share some of this information for your audience.
Okay, well, so tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into your presentation.
Sure.
So that the audience knows a little bit about you.
Yeah, so my name is Wil Purvis. I am one of the owners of Triton Termite Pest Control. We do termite inspections, treatments, as well as repairs, and also pest control, your general pests, rodents, birds, things like that. And we have over 20 years of experience and cover San Diego County.
Awesome. All right. Okay. So do you want to go into your presentation?
Yep. So here I'm going to talk about, why termite and pest control matters. So kind of just to start, what is a pest? Basically, it's any living organism that competes with humans, animals, plants for resources. So for example, that would be water, food, shelter. And basically how that impacts us as well as animals. And if you're a farmer having crops is health. It could be spreading disease, economic, destroying food and crops, like food in your pantry or crops out in the field. And then property damage like termites with eating the wood, eating your structures, or rodents making holes in your house, in your walls, or in your HVAC, or eating your wires. Well, I know a lot of people probably having issues with cars right now. Their cars are parked outside and they're having rodents eat their wires inside their trucks and cars parked outside.
Yes, that I came across that problem about 12 years ago, and it's super annoying.
Yeah, super annoying. It's a hard thing to deal with. So, and basically, again, why these matters, because there's kind of really four things that, the property damage, and I'm going to go a little deeper in these on each one, health risks, food contamination, and then at the end of the day, you want to have some peace of mind. So property damage, this can be from mostly, a lot of it for us from San Diego County, it's going to be termites as well as rodents, maybe some wildlife like bees in your attic, or raccoons or possums getting under your house or something if you have a sub area, or under a deck maybe. But basically, it's mostly termites, eating your wood, eating your structures, as you can see here, as well as rodents. So coming into your attics, chewing on your wires, making a mess of your insulation, potentially eating your food. One is a health risk. So some of these pests that come into our house, can spread disease, can trigger asthma, can trigger allergens. Sometimes it's viruses and bacteria, as we know, like Ebola or malaria with mosquitoes. So that's some of the things we want to control and potentially keep outside of our homes. And then another one is food contamination. This is when ants, weevils, other things get into your pantry. They get into your rice, get into your flour, get into your sugar, your snacks. This could be ants in your teenager's room, right? With the bags of chips or the leftover cereal bowl that they've left in their rooms.
My house.
Yeah. So, besides being annoyance, it's also you're throwing out your expensive groceries, and we all know how groceries have not gotten any cheaper anytime soon. So,
yeah.
And then, at the end of the day, we want to come home. We've had a busy day. We're dealing with our kids and whatnot. And, we just want a peace of mind, want some zen, right? When we're home, we want to relieve some of that stress. We don't want to have to deal with the pest, right? So now kind of why do they come into our house? Why do they bother us? Is they really want four things. They want food, they want water, they want shelter. And then basically to get to that shelter, they need entry points, right? So, here's some examples. Like what are the things that we can do? What are the things that they're looking for or getting into is garbage, right? Are your garbage cans uncovered? Is there garbage out in the yard? Is there plastic bags full of recyclables you haven't taken to the recycling center? Is there pet food that's left on the ground or in bags or in boxes that they can scratch into instead of putting them in airtight containers? Just wiping your counters, cleaning up after yourself in the kitchen, for example. They need water, right? They're coming in, they're looking for water. That's what's the big thing going on right now with ants. They're coming in the house looking for water. We haven't had any rain yet, right? So they're going to find that little leak. They're going to go to your clogged gutters, basically anywhere. And then once they're in, then they're going to find the food, right? So. And then one thing is shelter. You can provide them shelter with a cluttered backyard, with your yard being overgrown with bushes and trees. You have, they have great hiding places in your closet or in your cluttered garage. All these things are great for them, right? And then how do they get there? Well, they get in all kinds of ways, but a lot of the times, mostly it's pretty straightforward. There's holes in your walls, right? There's holes in the building, whether it's holes like you see on the right, coming in through pipes that are from the outside, your electrical, your water, those types of things, or you're in the middle there is your HVAC, it's the line set coming in, or it can be as simple as tiny cracks or, ripped window screens, your door sweeps under the beds, your door sweeps under the big garage doors. Those are all places where they're going to come in. All right, what are the things that we can do? Right. So the number one thing we can do is starve them out, basically sanitation. So that's, routine, wiping down your countertops, cleaning the bathrooms, picking up food, picking up bowls and stuff, putting your food, your flour, your sugar, your salt, maybe your things that you don't maybe use all the time in containers that are sealed, right? For pets, this is the big one. It's your food bowls, right? Especially if it's wet food, clean it out, pick it up, put it in the sink, wash it out. Or it's pet food that's been in it's in the garage, or it's in your pantry and it's in the bag and not an airtight container, right? Yeah. And then another one is just trash management. Your bins are sealed. Make sure they're empty. Make sure you make it to garbage day. And then every once in a while too, your garbage cans inside, or if you have a kitchen that has the built-in cubbies for your garbage cans, those got to get cleaned out too, right? I see kinds of times when there's ants in there, and it's because there's crumbs, there's spaghetti sauce, there's spillover in those things, and they just need to be wiped out every once in a while. Another thing is lock them out, right? So what I was saying about door sweeps, check your door sweeps. Are they tight? They're most of the time they're just worn out, basically. This can be your front door, your back door, your side door, your sliders. The big ones are your big garage doors, the side garage doors. Those are big culprits. Another one is just caulking and seal. It's all those pipe penetrations, whether it's a PVC pipe, whether it's a copper line. We caulk and seal or do, steel wool. Those are the types of things that can keep things out. Screens, your window screens, your slider screens, fix those holes in the screen, get them redone, get them tightened up, get the rollers working, those types of things. Foundation check, you're putting new floors in the kitchen, you want to put an epoxy in your garage floor, seal those foundation cracks. The number one thing about concrete is it's not that it won't have a crack, it will have a crack. It's just a matter of time. So pests, especially ants and termites, will find those cracks and come up into the house. Another thing, just clear the perimeter, yard care, buffer zones, from a bug standpoint or a rodent standpoint, keep your plants off the walls, at least a foot. If you have bougainvillea, if you have trees that overhang, make sure those branches are clipped back, because anything can run up and jump off those branches right onto your roof and then find a hole up there. And one thing that, it's not really bugs, but, for fire, we've already had a few wildfires here in San Diego County this year. Technically you want those things 4 to 5 feet away from your house. I know in some houses that's tough, but just another thing to think about. Lawn maintenance, really, just and also weeding, as you saw in those pictures, just keeps the fleas and ticks and other things down. Firewood, again, keep it away from the house. That's you're attracting all kinds of stuff to that because they like to hide in the holes in the bark and use that as shelter. Standing water, so this is mosquitoes mostly, but empty your bird baths. If there's toys in the yard, sand buckets, flower pot saucers, flower pots you're not using, buckets you're not using. There's all kinds of things that can catch, water from your sprinklers or whatnot. Make sure they're turned over or empty so that, you're not breeding mosquitoes in your yard. And then another thing that's kind of in line with all these things is faulty grade. You'll see a lot of this is you see the dirt and the gravel might be kicked up too much to your foundation. Or you can see in the picture with the water, like your drainage is not good and it's coming up against the house. Your downspouts, dumping right next to your house instead of away from the house. The gardeners put too much mulch in your yard and put it up against the house as well and cover that. Your foundation, your foundation, you should at least see 4 inches. Nowadays, newer homes, it's 6 to 8 inches is the mandatory by code. Older homes, that's going to be a tougher fight. 50s or 40s or 60s house, but keeping those things, keeping your grade sloping away from your house is key. Kind of some conclusions here, some next steps for you. Be proactive. Prevention is cheaper than eradication. Inspect, walk around your perimeter, catch any issues early. And something, you can do one this weekend, maybe find an entry point and seal it, or put pantry items in glass or plastic containers, or put your pet food in airtight bins type of thing. So those are just some things you could do. And again, just kind of, so what we do is, we service residential as well as commercial. We do general pest control. We do rodent and bird control. We do inspections for residential and commercial and real estate transactions. We take care of termite treatments and preventions. We do repairs as well. We also do, if any of you are doing remodels or new construction, we also can pre-treat to prevent stuff from happening. And if you do have water leaks in the future, this stuff will prevent fungus from growing inside. We can do a pre-treatment for termites. Also, if you're doing remediation for water damage in a bathroom or remodeling a bathroom and you find mold and stuff, we can spray stuff to kill the mold and protect it going forward as well. And we also do rodent cleanouts. So we can clean out your attic, your sub area, whatever they've infected, replace all the insulation, vacuum it all up, and also spray disinfectant to kill anything, whether it's E. coli, hepatitis, all the different bacteria and viruses. And that's it. For me, you guys have any questions?
Yeah, those are great points. I think one that I should be probably doing is the dog food. I just buy the big bag and I just kind of leave it out, but put it in a sealed container. That's one I didn't think about. Yeah,
that's a big one. That's just free food for rodents specifically, and a lot of times ants will find them in the garage. Yeah.
With regards to termites, can you talk about the fact that you are not you're not big on tenting, and can you explain how you eradicate termites without tenting, and also why not tent?
Oh yeah, so one thing with the fumigation with tenting is that you have to get out for 3 days. You have to find somewhere to live. What if you have pets? What if you have small kids? That's a pain. That's an additional cost that's not included in your estimate, right? Another thing is, depending on the type of roof you have, if you have a tile roof, whether it's cement tiles or Spanish tile, you're going to have to pay for tile insurance because things will get broken. They are walking on your roof. So that's another expense that's not accounted for, and that won't be covered by your homeowner's insurance. And also if you have photovoltaic, if you have solar on your roof, that's not going to be covered. If they break it, you fix it, they give you a waiver, your homeowners won't cover that, and there's no extra insurance to buy for that as well. So that's another cost, that potential cost that could happen. And then all your food inside your house, right? You have to either take it out or buy from them big, bags that are double bagged basically, and seal it up and deal with that. And they don't always work. I mean, I've retreated homes that were fumigated, and I had to retreat it because it didn't work. It's all dependent on how much product they put in, how much chemical, as well as how long it's been there, and if they did their calculations right, because it's a gas. And so if you miss your calculation, you could put too little chemical in there and it won't work. Or it could be, it wasn't sealed. There was a hole in their tent or something. At the same time, nothing's 100%. That's just a fact, because you can't get, it's a home sealed up and, with the drywall and everything, you're not ripping through everything to find stuff. So, but why we do it, and also with fumigation, there is no leftover, there's no residual basically. So once the tents come off and the gas blows away, there's nothing there to protect your house. It's gone. It's a one-time shot. So think as a snapshot in time. So at that moment, yes, you don't have anything, but that's, that can start tomorrow essentially. What we do with the spraying and injecting, what we do is we have two things that we spray or inject. Is one's Termidor to kill the termites, and the second part's the boracare, the boric acid, which is a mineral that comes out of the ground out here in the desert. And why we do that is because that gives you the residual prevention going forward, because termites don't like it. They won't. They can smell it. It doesn't smell to us what's left over. You have no idea it's there. It's clear. Anybody can go in an attic or touch it afterwards because it's dry. The wood sucks it up and holds it. And so the termites can smell it. So they either won't eat it, and so they'll starve, or if they do happen to take a bite, they're going to die too, because it basically rips their insides because it's a crystal. So once they swallow it, it'll rip their throat essentially. So that's why.
Yeah.
And you don't have to leave. You can be there while we do the treatment, because everything's away from you. And so you don't have to deal with all those facts of, finding a place, getting rid of your food, moving out for 3 days, all those negatives of the fumigation of the tent.
I think it's important to actually provide that education to the real estate professional as well, because a lot of the times the real estate professional pushes for tenting, and as if it's a better solution. Mm-hmm. So if there's enough education provided that actually this is, from what you're saying, this may be a better solution. Now let me ask you about, because I could argue for tenting that, okay, what about the attic? It's a space that it's not easily accessible. Mm-hmm. If I'm fumigating, then the attic is going to be covered just as much as anywhere else. But if you're doing a local treatment, attics are not as accessible with the program that you're providing, rather than gassing the thing.
Well, so we actually we spray the whole attic when we do our treatments. We're not just doing one spot. So even if at the time we don't find something in an attic in the inspection, we will still spray it. Or if you have a sub area, the same thing, right? Those older homes, especially North Park, South Park area, they do have an attic and they have a sub area. We will treat both because they're going to be coming from both sides, right? Those are your biggest holes in the house. And so we treat them regardless, even if we don't find it there. because we want to protect the house going forward. We want to get rid of any possibility, because like I said, that boric hair stays in that wood long after we're gone. So the only thing, and because it's covered by, it's not going to get leached out because there's no raining on it, there's no sun on it, right? All the things that cause degradation. So the termidor eventually will disappear because it is a man-made chemical. It has a half-life. If you remember high school chemistry, it will go away eventually. But again, it also will last a pretty long time because it's, again, there's no sun beating on it, there's no water on it, it's not getting leached away. So it'll stick around for a long time as well.
How long would you say?
I mean, there's studies like UC Davis has stuff in the ground for 25 years, but that's, lab conditions, perfect, right? So I would probably say the termidor sticks around for 5 to 10 years, I would say, to be conservative. The boric hair won't go away because, like I said, unless there was a leak on one piece of wood that's been going on for years, where it has time to then, the wood to still absorb that water and then leach out specifically that area. But otherwise, if it's maintained dry, it should not go away.
Another question that I have for you that I'm really curious. We have seen an upsurge of rodents.
Yeah.
Is that just my imagination, or is that really happening? And why?
I think it's just really happening because we haven't had rain yet, because they're looking for water, they're looking for food, so they're just coming towards where there's water. And if you have a lawn and you water your lawn, that's water, right? And then they come to your yard. Oh, you have a lemon tree. Oh, you have an avocado tree. Oh, you have a fruit tree, right? They're going to start with any of that kind of food, anything outside. And then, they find your garbage can. Oh, as they're running around, they find a hole in the garage. They get in the garage. Oh, look, dog food, cat food, your Costco, whatever's left over from Costco, type of stuff. So that's how it starts. And they're just, it's just, what do you call it? They're just scavenging around. They're just looking. It's opportunistic is what it is on their part, right? So.
Got it. And with the extreme heat that we're having,
yeah,
are we basically providing like a ideal environment for bugs and rodents and all of that to have a field day moving forward if this heat is something that we're going to see more of?
It is. Well, yeah, it's going to help them. And it's what it is doing is putting that pressure for them to come to the houses, because there is, there's no water in the ground in the canyons. There's no water in the ground that's not artificially watered, right? Those plants are shriveled, there's no fruit left. So yeah, it's the fact that everything else is dry and there's no food left. So they're coming to where there's potentially water and food. So yes, it's that pressure. That's what it is. Whether it's ants, whether it's rodents, birds, I mean, you name it, right? And because we saw this big jump too a few years ago when we had those 2 years of a lot of rain, right? We had above average rain a few years ago. And so what that means is that there's more food, there's more water. That means all these things have babies, more babies, right? And so now you're getting to the point where we haven't had rain, so now everybody's fighting for the same food, for the same water, for the same shelter. So that's why they're moving around.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why you have coyotes, coming.
Yeah.
Same thing. So. Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, thank you so much for joining us and for giving us this information. And if the audience wants to reach out to you, what's the best way that they can reach out?
The easiest thing to do is just to give me a call at 858-437-3625. And, or you can go to our website, tritontermite.com. And there's a form there that you can fill out online as well. But those are probably, just giving me a call is the easiest thing to do.
Okay, so giving you a call would be the easiest way, or to go to your website, which is tritontermite.com.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us and for giving this amazing information. That's really, really valuable. I know I learned a thing or two when we're having those negotiations over tenting or spot treatment. Now I know how to actually explain it and say it's actually a better way to go. And of course, you're avoiding a lot of liability and a lot of other costs.
Other stuff, yeah.
Okay, excellent. And audience, if you are thinking of moving, buying, selling here in San Diego, anywhere in the county or anywhere in the U.S., we can help and would love to be your go-to realtors. There is my phone number if you want to reach out to me. There is Santiago's phone number if you want to reach out to him. We also love a follow on Instagram or on Facebook if you are seeing us there. And of course, if you want to reach out to us on our website, there it is, Pemberley Realty. And if you are watching this today on YouTube, Santi, what do you want them to do?
Yeah, like and subscribe so you guys can watch all our upcoming videos. Our special guests like Wil today, that wealth of knowledge, and get to learn something new, right?
Excellent. All right, very good. Well, thank you, Wil, for joining us today, and thank you for all the hard work that you do for our team. We appreciate that.
Well, thank you for the opportunity and look forward to helping you out.
We'll see you later.
Thanks.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.